There was a time I genuinely thought I was dying. This was back in 2023 when I'd started my health journey. This issue actually started long before that. As far back as 2018, every few months or so, I would notice a lump on my left breast. But it would come and stay a few weeks, a few months, and then it would disappear. And then it would come back and then disappear. And that became a cycle for a couple years. Around maybe 2022, it came and it didn't go away. And that's when I got alarmed. But the fact that I got alarmed at that time didn't actually mean I took any steps to do something about it. Now, in the African culture, I'll speak for Nigerian culture, we have the saying that what you don't know can't kill you. And so a lot of times we end up ignoring issues, especially health issues. But this was staring me in the face every time I was in the shower and I felt it. It started to take a toll on me. I became genuinely afraid. I thought I might have breast cancer, that I might be dying, and I was freaking out so much. One Sunday, I went to church. I was very late to church that day, maybe about an hour late. This weight was so much on me when I got there. And then I saw my friend sitting at the foyer with her baby. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go sit with her because I wasn't even feeling like I was in the mood to be inside. I sat next to her, didn't really say much. And at some point she turned to me and she asked me, "Are you okay?" And my response was, "No, I'm not. I don't want to talk about it. Not yet." And she said, "Okay, anytime you want to talk about it, I'm here." The reason I didn't want to talk about it, well, there were two. One reason was I knew the service was almost over. I didn't want people bursting through those double doors and then me in tears, because I knew that once I opened my mouth, I was gonna bawl. But the bigger reason why was that the fear gripping me was so strong. It felt like a spirit of fear that I was battling with. And I knew that anything I said to her then would come from a place of fear. And I didn't want to give into that spirit. And so I decided not to say anything. So I went home from church, still feeling the weight of this possibility, this possible diagnosis. Later that week, one day, I was in my living room. I was lying on the couch. I just started crying. The fear was just overwhelming. I just started talking to God and saying, "God, I don't understand. I'm just 40. This was not what we discussed. Why am I going to die at this age?" After some time, I was just like, you know what? If you want me now, I'm okay. In that moment, I made peace with the idea of dying. And I felt like once I did that, I actually overpowered that spirit of fear. But I still didn't feel I could talk about it though. I was still quite raw, quite sensitive with that encounter. And so instead of calling my friend to tell her what was happening, I sent her a voice note. When I sent her a voice note, I told her I had a slump. It could be cancer. I'm so afraid that I was going to book an appointment with my GP to get it checked out. Would she please keep me accountable, make sure that I booked the appointment that week? A few minutes later, she calls me and she says, "Oh no, you don't talk like that. You're too young. You're not dying." And she prayed for me and encouraged me. I just said, okay to everything she was saying, even though deep down in my heart, I didn't fully believe what she said, because I knew, look, it was a 50-50 chance. I could be dying. I could not be dying. But we did agree that she would keep me accountable, make sure I booked the appointment that week. The following day, I called the GP's office. I booked the appointment. Straight after making that phone call, I sent my friend a message to let her know I'd booked the appointment. So I didn't wait for her to chase me up. I just gave her an update straight away. So went to the GP, got a referral to do an ultrasound and a mammogram. I remember getting into the room where we did the ultrasound. I remember being there and the radiographer, I think that's what they're called, she actually had the monitor facing me, so I could see what she was doing on the screen, and there was a bigger screen where I could also watch. And I just saw her highlighting things. It was the first time I'd ever done an ultrasound. And so I saw her, spotting things and highlighting them. And I asked her, "Is that the lump?" And she said, "Yes, there's actually many of them." And I asked her how many she had counted, and she said she had found about 10. And then I just started counting with her. As she was spotting them and marking them, I was counting. We probably counted somewhere about 20 on just one breast. And then on my right side, she counted about 10. I remember just being so amused and being so calm and relaxed in that moment where we were counting. It was just the most bizarre experience, but I think I felt so comfortable because I'd made peace peace with whatever this could be. And so my experience had no fear underlying it. My experience was just more factual, like this is happening, let's just get the facts straight. After the ultrasound, I went and did the mammogram. Oof, that was really, really uncomfortable. Like the pressure, it was so uncomfortable. Then they said they didn't think it was cancer, but that it would be good to do a biopsy just to see what was inside those lumps. And so I went and did the biopsy. Another uncomfortable experience because this lump was just running all over the place and it was hard for the doctor to be able to grab it to actually extract some of the fluid from it. Got that done. Eventually, I got the call from my GP. The results had come through, and praise God, it was not cancer. It was a condition that actually impacted quite a number of women, a percentage of women. But the good thing about it was that I'm not more likely to have cancer because of that condition than someone who does not have that condition. And that was such a relief. It was, of course, good news, but I realized that I'd actually even started celebrating whatever the outcome was going to be. I was already in such a good place that whatever the outcome of those tests, I wasn't too worried either way. I knew I was going to be okay. And so what are the lessons that I've learned? One, it's not going to go away just because you ignore it. And in fact, checking it out gives you peace of mind. And I'm so glad that I did go check it out. And so I want to encourage you, look, if you've been experiencing a condition, maybe it's been there for a little while or it's lingered for a long time and you are concerned, go check it out. For your peace of mind, just go check it out. It's better to know so that you can actually do something about it, because imagine if it was cancer and all this time it could have been detected earlier, but because I ignored it, maybe it got to a stage where the treatment could have been more aggressive. So I'm grateful that it wasn't that, but so you understand what that scenario could have led to. And look, so I want to encourage you, if there is any kind of symptom that's lingered for a while, go check it out. Don't let it linger and don't assume that it's going to go away just because you ignore it. It won't go away. For your peace of mind, go check it out. Also, please like and subscribe so that you can get more of this kind of content.